Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Sia. When she turned 5, her mother gave her a pair of goggles and said, "Baby, from this moment, how you see the world will be reflected on these goggles. If you see the good, your goggles will be lively. And if you focus on the bad, your goggles will be dull." Sia put on the goggles and suddenly felt different. Moments later, a butterfly landed on her hand. Sia looked at the butterfly's vibrant wings, and magically, the same vibrant colors appeared on her goggles. Then she looked at a tiny snail, and immediately, a tiny snail miniature appeared on her goggles. Through her goggles, Sia saw light in every soul. She didn't know the difference between the rich and the poor. She hung out with the beggars' kids, took them for a ride on her bicycle, and ate from her maid's plate. Sia's perspective was so positive and beautiful that soon her goggles filled with the most amazing colors and miniatures. Then one day, Sia's dad saw her playing with the beggars' kids. From his dull grey goggles, he saw the world full of threats. He warned Sia, "Those kids are not good, stay away from them." Sia didn't feel that was true, but she was too young to rebel against the man she looked up to. So after that, whenever the beggars' children would call out her name from the roadside, Sia would ignore them and pedal faster and faster until their voices faded. But because of this choice, the tiny snail miniature, the symbol of her curiosity, fell off her goggles, and in its place, a dull grey color replicating her father's goggles appeared. Years later, as a teenager, Sia brought all her friends home to play, and they unknowingly made a mess of the house. When her mother came home, she asked Sia, "Why are you so innocent? Look at this mess. Do your friends ever invite you? They care for their mothers so they don't ruin the house." Sia realized that her mother was right. Her friends had never invited her to their place. In that moment, the beautiful feather on her goggles vanished, and it was replaced by the silver of her mother's goggles. Years passed, and Sia started going to college. But by that time, her goggles had changed completely. Now, all the vibrant colors were replaced by dull and boring ones. Then, one afternoon, Sia saw a guy laughing in the college parking lot. In all the dull goggles, this man's goggles looked a bit different from the others. They weren't vibrant, but they were more alive than anything she had seen in years. Sia fell deeply in love with this man, and soon both of them got married. But life dims even the brightest lights if they aren't nurtured. So with time, her husband's lively goggles slowly turned into plain black. And before Sia could even realize it, she was wearing an exact replica of her husband's goggles. For a long time, Sia felt safe. By wearing her husband's goggles, she didn't have to decide what was right or wrong. She just saw what he saw. Her world was orderly and perfect, but it lacked joy and laughter. One Sunday, Sia and her husband were walking through a busy market. Suddenly, a small boy reached out and held Sia's bag, asking for a few coins. Her husband snapped at the child and pushed him away. "Don't touch her bag, go away and study." The boy sat down by a traffic light, and tears ran down his dusty cheeks. Sia looked at the kid through her husband's black goggles. At first, the boy just looked dirty. But then the boy looked straight and smiled. He wasn't smiling at Sia. He was smiling at a tiny beetle that circled in front of his eye. The boy gently held the beetle and safely put it on a plant. In that moment, a silent earthquake shook Sia's soul. She remembered the snail. She remembered the beggar's kids on her bicycle. And most importantly, she remembered her beautiful goggles. Suddenly, her husband's goggles started feeling incredibly heavy. So heavy that Sia fell on her knees under its weight. She felt like she was carrying the weight of 3 different lifetimes of judgment, cynicism, and fear. The goggles pinched her skin, and for the first time, she realized she had been suffocating in darkness. She reached up and with a trembling hand, lifted the black goggles. Without the lenses, the world was too bright, too loud, and terrifyingly vast. But as her eyes adjusted, she saw the boy again. Without any goggles at all, she saw the dirt on his face, but she also saw the pure curiosity in his eyes. It was the same curiosity she had buried under layers of her father's grey, her mother's silver, and her husband's black. She reached into her old bag and pulled out the small dusty case containing her original goggles, the ones she thought were broken and dull. As she held them, she whispered, "I am sorry I tried to see through their eyes." Magically, as her own original perspective flooded back into her heart, the goggles in her hand began to vibrate. The dull colors began to flake off like old skin. From the corner of her eye, she saw a deep green leaf with a miniature beetle appear on the frame, and a streak of vibrant colors returned to her goggles. She smiled at the boy, and a golden yellow glow filled the lenses. Sia put her own goggles back and realized that her innocence wasn't a weakness to be used. It was a superpower that allowed her to see the beauty everyone else was missing. She sat down next to the boy in the dust, looked at the beetle, and said, "I think it will be safe on this plant, right?" For the first time in 30 years, Sia was finally seeing the world through her own eyes. Most of the time in life, we borrow the perspectives of the people we look up to until we realize that their lenses are too small for the vast beauty of our own world. So please never remove the goggles that you wore as a kid. If you like this story, please hit the like button. And for more such stories, please subscribe to my channel.